Hey guys, it's Fawaz Muhammad Yusuf, and I'm back at you with another Let's Play. So I'm doing something a little weird this time around. First of all, I just wanted to apologize for the lack of videos for so long. I some personal shit's been going on in addition to my computer biting the dust, so it's just caused me some issues. I just started school recently, but I'm trying to settle everything down right now, and then once I get settled, I'll be back to like my regular schedule. I'm probably going to develop a schedule of like one, maybe two videos a week. We'll see what I can produce while I'm in school, but whatever schedule I develop, I'm going to maintain it, even during exams, fingers crossed. So anyway, this is The Witcher. Surprise! So The Witcher, I don't do a lot of Let's Plays of The Witcher because like the gameplay, I mean a mission in The Witcher can take you like 2 hours, and the PS4 only records up to 15-minute gameplay. However, there is this game in The Witcher, the game within the game, called Gwent. And I love this game. As anyone who listens to the podcast knows, I absolutely love this game. So I recently started playing this new faction in the DLC called Skelliger, and I was struggling with it at first. And I went online to try to find deck guides, and I couldn't find. I mean, I found some, if I'm being completely honest, but whatever, I'm making one too, so yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with that. So anyway, this is my Skelliger deck. I pretty much use this to complete practically every important Gwent quest in the entire, outside of the quest that required, outside of, you know, when I first started, because like the core deck is garbage, right? So I used like a different deck, a stronger deck, to unlock some of the cards. But once I unlocked the main cards, I used this to clear a bunch of like high rollers tournaments and everything. So let's get right to it. So the Skelliger faction. And sorry, this guide is going to assume you actually know the rules of Gwent, so I'm not going to get into that. The Skelliger faction's ability is that during the third round, you place 2 random cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield. This is supposed to compensate for the fact that they have no spies, so there's very little card draw in this deck. As a result, you have to tailor your deck. There's one spy, but this is a neutral. You have to tailor your deck and your play style to getting as much value out of the few cards that you do have. So for example, I run 2 decoys, so I can sometimes play Vil, however you pronounce his name, kill a minion, decoy him back to my hand, play him again, kill another minion, you know, good shit like that. Anyway, let me get right into the deck build. I run 2 decoys for the stuff I just mentioned. You can do that with like Vil. You can, for example, take Burner Bran back into your hand, play her again, get another card from your graveyard. You can steal your opponent's spies. That's the other really important thing, because you don't run a lot of spies. So if you run into like a Nilfgaard deck, Nilfgaard decks usually run like four spies. You're gonna, like, it doesn't matter how well you play, you're gonna play the game with 10 cards, he's going to have like 16. Like, odds are you're gonna lose that game. So with the decoys and the 2 medics, it allows you to compensate for that. So yeah, the 2 commanders horns, they buff your rows. You've got some decent some minions with decent strength numbers that aren't legendaries. So you drop a commander's horn on the board after you play Ceres, and there's just no way you're going to lose that round. Unless they have some Scorch, there's just no way you are losing that round. The 3 Mardrium, I'm gonna get back to this later on in the deck when I get to the Berserkers. In terms of neutrals, I run Ciri, I run Yennefer, I run Mysterious Elf. I would run Geralt over Hjalmar, but I can't find him. I beat the game, and then after beating the game, I can't find the person who I'm supposed to beat to unlock Geralt. But yeah, just keep that in mind, that this should be Geralt instead of Hjalmar. So yeah, those are the neutrals. Ciri is just a really powerful card. I usually save her for the 3rd round when shit gets real, and you just throw her down. You don't even have to think about it. You just You just drop her down and it's like, here, hold this 15 attack that you can't scorch. Yennefer's really cool. You can use her ability to bring back like Vil. You can bring back do I only run one war longship? No, what am I talking about? I run two. Sorry, quick digression. Yeah, I mean, she's a medic, you know, her ability is pretty cool. Oh, sorry. Let me backtrack a little bit. So I run King Bran as my leader. Because I kept getting hit by weather abilities and I didn't want to run a clear weather in my deck. But either leader has their benefits. Crack, however you pronounce that ability, requires a lot more thought, and I was like, I'm already thinking too much with this deck. I don't want to think too much with the hero power either, so either or goes. I just go with Bran because he's easier to use, you know, it's a passive. So yeah, the other card I run is Vil. Like I mentioned, he's a Scorch because I don't run any Scorches in this deck. So he's the only Scorch you have whenever someone tries to get a little too freaky on their board. He's amazing versus, I don't run any Scorch, I don't run any weather effects, so he is like a godsend against monster decks. I run the Mysterious Elf because he's like the best card in the game in my humble opinion, and he's a neutral, and I don't think you should build any Gwent deck without him. Olaf's pretty cool. He's first of all, he's a 12 attack minion, so that's amazing, and then he's a 12 attack minion that can be played on either row. So, you know, if you play Ceres, you can drop him on the Ceres row and then add even more attack. Or if you drop like a couple of your war longships, oh no, you can't, sorry. If you drop your light longships, you can drop him on that row, buff them, so that's pretty cool. Hjalmar, like I said, is pretty much a replacement until I figure out where to find Geralt. Ceres, this card is absolutely amazing. So, she's a 10 attack minion, which is just okay, but then she's got what's that thing called again? Whatever, summon Shield Maidens. So when you play her, you summon these 3 chicks, the Clan Drummond Shield Maidens, 3 of them. Now each one has 4 attack, but they also have tight bond, so their attack doubles with another one on the board. So if you play Ceres with these 3 cards in your deck, they'll drop on the field and each have 12 attack each. So then, you know, like that was why I said, you know, you drop a Commander's Horn on that, you're looking at 24 attack each on top of the 10 from Ceres. Now you need to be careful with this because that is just Scorch bait right there. You play this card, you hold on to Ceres. I usually play Ceres as my last card when I know that they've used up all their Scorches and they don't have Vil. Vil absolutely tears that combo apart, so keep that in mind. But even with that said, I think Ceres is like the best Skelliger card, and she's won me so many games. Ermion's a pretty solid card. Like I said, once again, I'll get into him when I get into Berserkers, but yeah, just keep that in mind. He's only on the ranged row, so yeah. The War Longships are just like solid cards. 6 attacks with tight bond. You drop 2 of them, you get 12/12s. They're really good for baiting out Scorches. You drop 2, if you have a Ceres in your hand and 2 War Longships, you drop 2 War Longships. If they don't Scorch that, they're probably not running a Scorch. However, this doesn't bait out Vil, so keep that in mind. Now, Berserker. So Berserker, any card that has that Berserker ability, if you play them on the row, he starts off as a 4 attack minion, but then if you drop the little mushroom, oh, sorry. There we go. If you drop the little mushroom on the same row as the Berserker, he transforms into a 14 attack bear with the same ability as Olaf. What's this ability called again? With morale boost. So he gives every other melee unit +1. So you drop him on the same board as Ceres, and you're looking at, well, just extra 3 attack, but whatever. So that's pretty cool. Once again, just watch out for the Scorches, but then like when you have so many cards that they need to Scorch, eventually they can only run 3 Scorches, right? So yeah, he's a pretty solid card. One other cool thing about Berserkers is if you play a Berserker, you transform them and they get sent to the graveyard. When they get resurrected as bears, so you don't have to transform them twice. Thank God. Light Longship, this is also really good for baiting out Scorches because for some reason the computer just automatically Scorches this. If you play one of these and you summon the other 2 and the computer has a Scorch, 9 out of 10 times they always Scorch this. The Clan Drummond Shield Maidens, they're okay on their own. But they get even better when, well, actually they're terrible on their own. They just 4 attack, 1 minion. So, but if you have 2 of them, then they get a lot better. At 3, they're amazing, and then with Ceres, it's just hold me, please. Burner Brand solid. You know, you can never have too many medics. The young Berserker, this one's a range unit. Oh yeah, one thing of note with the regular Berserker is that he doesn't combo with Ermion, because Ermion's a range unit and he's a melee unit. However, the young Berserkers do. The young Berserkers, when they transform into 8/8s with tight bonds. So you drop 2 of these on a row, drop Ermion, and you have 16/16s. Yes, 16/16. You drop 3, and I don't even feel like doing that math right now. Cambi is a pretty solid card. I usually play, what I usually do is if I win the first round and I have Cambi in my hand, sorry, his ability, I'm getting ahead of myself. His ability is if he's on the board and he dies, the next, he comes back as an 11/11 legendary. So what I usually do is if I win the first round, I'll play him on the second round, first of all to force more cards out of my opponent, and then so on the third round he gets resurrected as an 11/11. One thing to keep of note though is that if you get Cambi out of your graveyard as your Skelliger ability, he is the worst possible card you can get, bar none. 0 attack, no ability, because in the third round his ability becomes completely useless. So yeah, just a couple of other things of note. That's just the deck. Some cool stuff you can do if you decide to go with Crack on Krite is that because his ability lets you shuffle your cards back into your deck. If you have like 3 light long ships, you play them, they muster out, all 3 of them are there, you win the round. You can play a decoy, put 1 of them back into your hand, then when they get shuffled in, then you can use your ability, shuffle your graveyard back into your deck, and then play it again to get the muster. There's a couple of other cute things you can do like that, but it's all required too much thought, and I'm like, no. Maybe down the line, if I might experiment with Crack, but yeah, right now Brands works pretty well for me. So yeah. Whew. That is my Skelliger deck. It worked really well for me. I beat the main game, the high stakes Gwent tournament. I beat it in 1 try. I didn't even have to save scum. I beat it in 1 try with this deck. I beat the Skelliger tournament with this deck. I save scummed the shit out of that one. I'm not even ashamed to say it. And yeah, I've just been running around beating as many people as I can. I'm gonna make some gameplay videos to show you guys like mulligans and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, that's my Skelliger Gwent deck. If you like what you see here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions for how you think I could improve the deck, there's some cards that I considered running but I cut. Clan Dimum Pirates. This card seems like a really good idea. You know, he's like Vil, except, you know, he scorches everything. But you see, that's the problem, right? Is that he scorches everything. And I've had like 3 games, no joke, where he gets pulled out of the graveyard with the Skelliger ability, and then him and Olaf get pulled out of the graveyard with the Skelliger ability, and then he scorches Olaf. So yeah, I was like, I'm not going to run this shit. This card is pretty cool, but I don't run enough siege units, so I was like, no. But I digress. So yeah, you know, if you guys like what you see here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.